I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, and tonight I'm going to be talking about 3 Australian influencer things that have happened this week that have been the biggest news stories. The first one being Karina Irby accidentally buying a house. The second one being Veruca Salt getting into a feud with her removalist. And the third one being Lucy Jackson. She has responded to rumours that she was rejected by Steele. All right, so I'll get started on the Karina Irby one. So I'm sure you've all heard this one. This has been all over the news sites this week. Outspoken have spoken about it, the podcast. And yeah, so this week, Karina Irby, she released a reel of her celebrating that she had just bought an investment property. Seems legitimate, seems okay. However, controversially, in the reel, she started it off saying that she accidentally bought an investment property. And this investment property is a waterfront unit, 2-bedroom unit in Currumbin, which is on the Gold Coast. Georgie Stevenson also lives in Currumbin, as does Karina Irby. The apartment is $1.2 million plus, like plus stamp duty, plus, you know, all the other fees that you have to pay. So she accidentally bought a $1.2 million waterfront unit in Currumbin in front of her house. So she showed that she was sitting in her lounge room, which looks incredible, by the way. She has like 180-degree ocean views, and she showed that she could see the unit out her window. So very, very lucky. Not lucky, I suppose it's not luck that she's bought this, but it looks incredible. It looks like an absolutely amazing place to live. She also noted in her caption, "Cheers OF." So as you may or may not know, she does do OnlyFans. And so she's saying cheers OF as in cheers OnlyFans for the money that she has made to buy this investment property. I don't know why she said that. I just don't know what that achieves. Like, she also has many businesses. Like, she has a bikini business. She has Moana Smile Club, which is an activewear business, I believe. Or maybe that is the bikini business. But she has multiple businesses, and it's weird for her to say cheers OF, because then when people clapped back at her saying, you know, this is so tone deaf, like people can't even afford groceries at the moment and you're bragging about accidentally buying a $1.2 million property, she did end up explaining that, you know, she's been doing her businesses for 13 to 14 years. People can unfollow her, like she's worked really hard all of this time. But in the original caption, she wrote cheers OF, and I think she's only been doing OnlyFans for a few years, and I don't know, it's kind of contradictory. Like, it doesn't seem that she worked hard like she's then saying in her response. Although I do admit OnlyFans work would be really hard. I can't even imagine. That would be something I could never do. And then, okay, what else are the comments saying? Oh yeah, she also bought a brand new BMW recently. And I also read somewhere that she gifted a friend a brand new BMW recently. So she's definitely got plenty of money. She also mentioned in her response that she's not rich. She's far from rich, she actually mentioned. So I think that she is a little bit, very much out of touch. Like, she is rich by anyone's standards. So yeah, it just hasn't gone down very well. And I suppose it was probably about a year ago that she was called out for photoshopping her photos, and she ended up admitting that yes, that was true. And I think that got a lot of people offside, because she'd always been about body positivity and showing off like cellulite and things. So that got a lot of people offside, and I think that this is like another round of controversy that's getting a lot of people offside with her. All right, that was a long update. Next one is Veruca Salt. So Veruca Salt is also an OnlyFans creator, is that the word that I would use? I'm not sure. But she recently publicly shamed, sorry, I'm just reading my own notes here. She recently publicly shamed her furniture removalist. So she was moving houses, and she posted a picture of the person who was doing the job and said, like, you know, is this your man? He's a terrible person. Like, publicly shaming him, posting his photo to her. I think she's got like, you know, 500,000 followers on Instagram, probably more, close to 1 million, I would say. She did a 5.5-minute story explaining that this removalist had been like swearing at her. She had been told in advance that she needed to pack, like, whatever she wanted taken in the removal van had to be packed in boxes. So she had said to them, like, she was trying to show them, like, these are the boxes that I need packed, and they kept running away from her whenever she was trying to show them what needed packing and then saying they don't know what to pack. And she also mentioned that they asked for tools to uninstall her fridge because it had like the plumbing going to it. And she told them, they said, when did you actually install this fridge? And she said 2 weeks ago, and they said they don't believe her, which is kind of a strange story. She then said they asked for a popsicle, like a Zupa Duper, I assume, out of her fridge, which she was laughing. She was saying this is just so random. Anyway, after all this swearing and stuff, she also mentioned in a story that was then deleted saying that they were homophobic. So I'm not sure why she thought that, because that was quickly deleted. She also then shamed the wrong business and then had to delete that story and shame the correct business, I suppose. She mentioned that she emailed the office of the removal company complaining, and then the guy, they said they were going to call him. So she watched him reject the call, but he knew what had happened because she told them. And so he unpacked the truck. All the stuff that he'd packed, he then unpacked the truck and left. And then she ended up getting a different removal company to come and pick up all of her stuff later that day. So it was just a big ordeal of removing stuff. And yeah, she obviously just, I don't know. It's really hard to know what happened here because the story was just so random. But obviously they were speaking very poorly to her. She felt uncomfortable. She told them so, and then they ended up leaving. So she is not going to be paying for the service, she said. But yeah, I mean, that's a horrible experience. If people were in my house treating me that way, I would be extremely uncomfortable. And I think that she did the right thing by complaining. A lot of people have said that she probably shouldn't publicly be shaming the business on her platform, being that she does have such a big platform. But I don't know, like if they were intimidating her, fair enough that they're getting blasted. But yeah, I'm not sure. This is just all her version of the story, of course. There's always 3 sides to a story. Her version, their version, and the truth. So yeah, think what you will of that one. The third update I've got for this week is Lucy Jackson. So unfortunately, Lucy Jackson has blocked me. I know why she's blocked me. Like, I get it. She actually blocked me back when I was talking about her and Ollie Frost feuding. So yeah, I totally get that she's blocked me, and it sucks. Like, I listen to her podcast every episode because I just think she's so hilarious. I get that she's politically incorrect in a lot of things and she does say offensive things, but I find that that's kind of refreshing from an influencer in some ways. Like, obviously this is controversial for me to say that, you know, that sort of stuff's funny. But yeah, I think that they all try to be so prim and proper, and it's nice that she's still the same person she was when she started. Like Olivia Molly Rogers, she's prim and proper. She's at the opposite end of the scale as Lucy Jackson. I find her hilarious. She's just so funny. And anyway, I did a blind item last week and said that apparently Lucy Jackson was keen on Jack, so Jack Steele from, The Inspired Unemployed, and he rejected her advances. So obviously this is unverified, but I thought, oh, yeah, that actually does sound quite true. Like, you know, I don't want to get sued, but the truth defense would prevail if it was true. Anyway, she's saying that it is not true. I also mentioned on the blind item that it's possible that this happened, but I don't believe it would ever work because I think that they're both very main character energy in a good way. Like, that to me is a compliment, to be main character energy. And also I said they're both too funny. And by too funny, I just mean like they're both so hilariously funny. I don't mean it as a bad thing. I mean, they're too funny. They're so funny. But anyway, she obviously took offense to that. And then she posted in her Happy Hour with Lucy and Nikki Facebook group. And she wrote, just wanted to put this in here, punters, and say this is so untrue. Ha ha ha. Jack's a work friend. We have the same manager. This page gives me the ick. So yeah, my page gives her the ick, which yeah, really sucks. I just found it a really weird defense to say that he's a work friend and they have the same manager. And it's like that makes it untrue. Whereas I don't believe that does make it untrue. People hook up with their colleagues all the time. And all she did was crack on and he rejected her. I mean, potentially she's saying it's not true. But yeah, I just thought it was quite defensive over something that was quite minor. But also I get that she's entitled to have her defense. So I'm glad that she posted in her group because I thought it was really good promotion for my page. Like, she actually left the name of my page on the screenshot. So yeah, that was pretty lucky for me, I guess. All right, well, I am going to get into your questions. Just have to scroll back to the top. All right. Oh, people are studying this weekend. Oh, this weekend doesn't really seem very fun for people, does it? Thoughts on Emmylou being in the US? I think it is so cool. I love her Vegas content. I love Vegas. I think that it's really cool. Like, she's obviously got like a boyfriend over there or some sort of romantic relationship, whether it be for media or whether it be genuine. I'm not sure. But either way, I think it's really cool that she's over there. Did you listen to Outspoken's podcast? Matt Zukowski Breaks His Silence podcast. Excellent take on his very weak excuses. Yes, I did listen, and I feel that what they said is very similar to the same thoughts I had, which I reiterated on my live last week. So I agree that like him saying that he was in the hotel with Tammy at 3 a.m. drunk and texting this person for his friend, but his friend clearly wasn't even there. It's very random. Like, he'd previously said no to texting the person. Why would he just randomly decide when he's drunk? And I also thought, they didn't mention this, but yeah, I mentioned last week, I thought it was really weird. Maybe I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, but it was really weird that he was saying he didn't remember texting the girl. And it's like, well, you then kept texting the girl. Like, it looks like the next day, I think he said the next day that he texts the girl saying, oh, you know, this was for a friend. And yeah, like Outspoken said, he hasn't shown a screenshot of that text exchange. So I guess we've just got to take his word for it. I don't know. Him as a character in a TV show, like, I see influencers as like entertainment. Like, to me, they're like Home and Away, like a dramatic TV show. And as a character in this Australian influencer TV show, I'm so mad at him. Like, I don't like his character in the show, if you know what I mean. But I have to remember he is a person. They are real people in a real relationship. Tammy's sister Emily has come to his defense this week in the comments because, you know, he's still getting slandered in comments. Like, people are very much not happy with him. And I do find it a bit weird that Tammy's not showing him. Like, I find that really awkward. Like, she's not putting up a united front with him. Not that she's to blame for any of this. Like, you know, she can do whatever she wants in my books. But, yeah, I just find that an interesting sign. I also got the ick this week. Oh, this bothered me a lot. That she released her book and his posts about the book was just posting the cover and saying, buy now. Like, it wasn't like, you know, congratulations to my fiance or so proud of you. It was just buy now. And then the next one was about him having ADHD and this will have to be the first book he ever reads since high school or something. And I thought, what? Like, I feel like I even posted nicer stuff about Tammy releasing her book. I just found that really, really strange. But yes, not sure there. Your thoughts on the Morgan Waterhouse and Justin McKeon pick? When I opened it, I just thought it was hilarious. Like, it's so awkward for Olivia Molly Rogers to see that, I suppose. But they are in the same circles. They're both Melbourne male influencers and they're both into like the party scene. And I suppose Justin, he goes to Bar Bambi a lot, like just as a client. Maybe he knows Nick Russian, the owner. And then Morgan Waterhouse, he works in like event management or something, some sort of event sort of thing. So it makes sense that they would cross paths, but yeah, I did find it very funny. What else? I got to say the thing about Lucy was so untrue. She said numerous times she would never get with Jack. He's like a brother to her, very off the mark there. Yeah, well, I guess that is one opinion. And yeah, maybe she changed her mind. I don't know. It's very possible that it's not true, but... Oh, sorry. There was dust there. Yeah, maybe he is like a brother to her, but I don't know. I think they could be great friends. Maybe that's what she means by brother. Like, why can't she just say friend? Brother's random. I just think it's just, she's screaming guilty. Like, why is she overcompensating with excuses as to why they could not be together? Something just seems suspicious to me. This is just my opinion though. Like, I'm making my opinion up. Like, you don't have to believe it. That's all good. What are your thoughts on Gypsy Lust getting back with her ex and now pregnant? Yeah, no one really asks about Gypsy Lust very much. So her name is Lauren Bullen and her fiance, I think he is, or maybe just boyfriend, his name is Liam. Liam something with B, I'm pretty sure. Liam something. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so they did break up for a while and then they have now got back together and are having a baby. And I mean, stranger things have happened. Like, I personally don't believe in ever getting back with exes. I believe you break up for a reason and it's just best not to go there. But I've noticed that every time influencers are single or in a relationship that people don't agree with, like Matt and Tammy, for example, everyone always says, oh, they should get back with their ex. So maybe it's not that uncommon. Like everybody's saying, oh, you know, Tammy should get back with Matt Paul, or when she was hanging out with Reese one time, everyone's like, oh, I'd love to see them back together. But I don't think it's a good thing to be back with your ex, but obviously Lauren and Liam are happy and yeah, they're having a baby. So that's really exciting for them, of course. People are saying that Veruca thrives on drama. I do agree. I feel like she reminds me a lot of Michaela Testa. Her and Veruca and Michaela Testa are just, there's a lot of drama that surrounds those women. Someone's saying I have too much time on my hands. I mean, if anyone who works has time on their hands to work, maybe it's too much time. Not sure. Are you watching I'm a Celebrity? I have never watched before and I'm loving it. Yes, I am watching it. I'm only up to the second elimination though. I'm quite behind. So I've just watched Candace be eliminated and I did go online tonight and vote. So I do know who the top 3 are, only because I went to the voting thing kind of on purpose, kind of accidental, but I wanted to vote for Sky. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to see who's still there. But yeah, I hope she wins. I know Abby Chatfield won a few years ago. So maybe like our generation of people are voting for people on I'm a Celebrity. So yeah, it'd be really cool if she won. I think that she'd just be so proud of herself and yeah, it would be so, so great. Oh yeah, Tammy spoke on Red Hot the Pod this week. So that was Lily Brown's podcast. Yeah, she did speak on that. And that this person saying that her and Matt seemed happy as Larry. Okay, I think that might have been pre-recorded, that podcast. I'm sure they are happy as Larry, but I don't know what the timeline was for the recording of that podcast. But a lot of people messaging me saying they can't listen to Lily Brown's podcast because she speaks really loud. She speaks over the top of her guests and doesn't let them speak. And I actually really like that about her. I like that she's high energy and she like really brings out a fun side of her guests. Like it's not a serious interview. She did interview M. Davies one time and I found that interview was just really boring. It was like a whole heap of inside jokes that just weren't funny to someone who's not inside, I guess. But I really liked her interview with Tammy. I highly recommend it. Much better than the Mia Friedman one. Someone was late tuning into my live because they were listening to the new Taylor Swift albums. Two surprises. Yeah, someone saying the Lily Brown podcast was recorded over a month ago. Do you think Indy Clinton is okay? I noticed she's at a retreat and everyone commenting on her latest TikTok how sad she looks. She looks like she's lost a bit of weight. I hope she is okay. I assume she was okay. Like she's there with her mum and she's very much pitching it as like, you know, a fun thing to do with her mum and just like a really nice thing to do with her mum. I was assuming that she was sponsored by the retreat company and that's why she's going there to like promote it. But yeah, maybe she's sad and that's why she's on the retreat. But I haven't heard that. And I think that she's lost a bit of weight because she's been doing one of those challenges lately. She's been promoting it a lot. It's their Fit as FK challenge. And yeah, I think she has openly lost weight doing that challenge. Thoughts on people worried about Starlet suffering from religious psychosis? I haven't heard of anybody worried about Starlet suffering from religious psychosis. So Starlet is Tammy Hembrow's younger sister. Interesting. I know she is quite religious and a lot of her posts are religious, but I actually don't even know what religious psychosis is, but religion actually really freaks me out. What else? Matt Z seems really pissed off that Tammy's not showing him. Well, I would be. Like if my fiance wasn't showing me on social media, I'd be seriously concerned. But also, he can't be concerned because he knows why. Like he's the one who has done the wrong thing. You should start a podcast on this stuff. I love your speaking style. Thank you. I have been told a lot over the years that I should do a podcast, but I would prefer to put my time into the account that I'm doing. I think that Outspoken, they do a really good job of the podcast stuff, and my specialty is the daily updates to Instagram on my subscription thing. I also used to have a lot more time. So the reason why I started this account was because I had so much time. I had a 6 or 7 month old baby, and they do nothing. They just lay there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you tickle them a bit or whatever. But I had a lot of time when I had a very young baby, and now I have a 1 and a 3-year-old, and they are hectic. Absolutely hectic. So I can only sort of focus my time on one thing, and the subscription is that one thing. Harrison Boone trying to start the Unmarriables and Abby Chatfield going to absolute town on him. Yeah, I loved that so much. I think that Abby Chatfield, she just brings ideas to the table that I never would have thought of. Like, I really like following her just for like worldly knowledge, if you know what I mean. Harrison Boone is just a woman hater, basically. He just wants everyone to bow down to him and just be submissive. And he was saying that people who were like basically 30 and single and successful are unmarriable, essentially. And Abby Chatfield clapped back to that and was just like, if you don't want to marry me, that is a good thing. But she obviously said a lot of like really good points as well. Sophie wearing a wedding band and posting comments with her partner implying they're married. Yes, she is. So I think that pretty much confirms what I said last week. It does seem that she is married. Breaking news. Dedicated and her husband, are they still together? Kate Jones and her husband, I assume so. I haven't heard anything, but she doesn't really show him much on her Instagram, that's for sure. I'll have to look into that one. Do you think Toby Pierce and Rachel will last after the wedding? Yes, I actually think that they are very well suited. I think that they're both very like goals oriented? Is that the word? I just think, yes, definitely. And they are saying they want to have children together, and I definitely think they will last. Kate Jones's husband follows heaps of thirst trap accounts. Okay, well, don't know what to say about that. Can't be confirmed. I don't know if that is definitely true, but yeah, okay. I love how you're so supportive of women. Thank you. I do try to be. I'm always on the woman's side. Like, yeah, just with everything. I think that women generally don't lie. I think that men are cheats and liars. They're such a big disgrace. If you know, you know. Tammy is bad at keeping her moods quiet. Yes, I definitely agree with that. It was the same when she was breaking up with Matt Poole, and for about a year she was posting like passive sort of stuff and all these clues, and yeah, I think that she is bad at keeping quiet. But I also love that. That is really makes her very interesting to follow. Are you going to do any more blind items this week? No, I'm not. I did post a few bonus ones into the subscriber area, and I haven't done my subscriber Q&A yet this week, so that's probably what I'll be focusing on this weekend. But it has been 24 minutes, and I'm going to sign off now. Thank you all so much for your questions, and if I didn't answer yours, definitely DM me after this, because I run this account because I love talking about influencers, so I would love to talk about whatever question you might have. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.